Hi, Team MegaBots. My name's Raymond McCormack. What makes football so popular? Sure, it involves people tackling each other to the ground, violence, and that's all great. But it also is a game of strategy. People make their livings writing playbooks, books of strategy. Now, if you have MegaBots and you have it without strategy, all you have is giant robots pelting paintballs at each other, which, granted, is still pretty awesome. However, if you do incorporate strategy, you get a new experience every time you go. Because if pilots utilize strategy, that means they're growing, they're improving. They're taking a look at their actions, their experiences, and their opponents, and then using that to improve. And that results in a greater challenge between rivals, and thus more interesting experience for pilots and fans. And it causes the fans then to become attached to pilots and to become interested in following the progress of the leagues because they want to see how those pilots grow and evolve and whether or not they dominate. I want to create the conditions required to facilitate this formulation of strategy by pilots and by fans. I want to write playbooks of standard maneuvers that will inspire pilots and that pilots can then take and adapt to their own needs. And I want to help to create new game elements which force pilots to adapt and to figure out new and innovative and interesting ways of doing things, which then further engages the fans and keeps the fans guessing as well. I've taken a number of courses in college focused around strategy, particularly military strategy, such as war strategy and politics, intro to international relations, and I also took an introductory course to computer science. The coolest thing that I've done recently, I created my own club here at University of Pennsylvania called Penn Parkour, and I incorporated elements of strategy from different fields in order to make it strong, recruit an active membership, and retain the members. For example, I utilized marketing strategy, causing my word to get out through word of mouth, through social media, through emails, through flyers, through basically everything you could think of, whatever I could do to maximize the amount of people who received the message. And then once I had started the club and I had a membership, I did my best to retain them by building a sense of community, getting a Penn Parkour cheer, a Penn Parkour logo, and by making everybody feel welcome, which is important if you look at any team building endeavor in any club, from university clubs to the United States military. I've come up with what I believe will be the cornerstone of basic MegaBots strategic maneuvers. So the main strategic goal of MegaBots is to inflict the most amount of damage to your opponent as possible while receiving the least amount of damage as possible. And this is facilitated by creating field advantage, by maximizing cover while maximizing the ability to target one's enemies. So in this scenario, you have one MegaBot and you have another MegaBot, and they're on opposing teams, and right now they're completely balanced. There is no cover, and they can both aim at each other, and neither can block, so there is no field advantage. They're completely balanced. However, if you introduce another MegaBot, then this team now has field advantage because this MegaBot cannot attack both, and they can both attack it. Now, what happens when one of the MegaBots, let's say this one, does happen to have cover? Let's say there's some sort of obstacle or obstacles in the way. Well, then the object becomes, for these guys, to move into a more advantageous position where they can fire without also reducing the risk of being exposed themselves. And this MegaBot, its strategy is to maintain its concealment, maintain the cover, while also trying to get into a more advantageous position to strike itself. And this is the cornerstone of all MegaBot strategy. So that's my spiel. I look forward to keeping track of the progress that you guys make and to hearing back from you. Thanks.